Good morning, dear students. Today is our time to have lesson 3 at Unit 3, Desert Plants. We've had the time on lesson 2 to get to know about the animals of the desert. Today we will get to know about the plants of the desert. This is the most famous plant ever in the desert, anywhere. The cactus. The name is Cactus. Cactus is the desert plant that is most famous because it can live on very little water, as well as having the thick waxy skin that can keep the moisture inside. Also, the spines that can protect. The spines that can protect this plant if any other animals wants to eat it. All together makes it perfect for living in the desert. Have you ever seen a cactus? Have you ever been to the desert? So, for now, we will get to know many things about the cactus. And we will get to know why is it difficult for plants to grow in the desert. And if I use why, then definitely my answer will have a reason, and then I will say because before it. Why does the cactus need very little water? We will get to know that also, and we will know the reason. Let us hear this.
Track 24.
The cactus. All living things need water. It is difficult for plants to grow in the desert because the desert is very dry. But some plants do grow there. One special desert plant is a cactus. Cactus plants have thick, waxy skin and sharp spines. Cactus plants can live with very little water. When rain falls, the roots of the cactus plant drink up the water very quickly. The water is stored inside the cactus, under the thick waxy skin. The cactus uses the water in the dry days ahead. The thick waxy skin keeps the cactus from losing the water inside.
Now we know the reason why it's difficult for plants to grow in the desert, because it's very little water. Why does cactus need very little water? It's enough for the cactus, the water in the desert, and it's fine for the cactus to live there, because the thick waxy skin keeps the cactus from losing the water inside, so it can live on very little water. Now we know the reason for the why questions. Now we will talk about something very interesting. Some adjectives are long adjectives. Some adjectives are long adjectives. And we've had the time to compare between them. When we say more, then I say the adjective, then I write that. What about the superlative form? With tall and other short adjectives, it's fine to put est, and we got to know the different cases to make a superlative form using these short adjectives. With the long ones, we will use the most. We will use the most. The most, that's we write it before the long adjective. I think the phoenix fox is the most beautiful animal in the desert. Take care, beautiful does not have anything connected to it. We don't write any other letters in the long adjective. We add the most. When we compare one thing with lots of other, that's the superlative form, we use that space, est, for the normal adjectives. For longer words, we use That's a little exercise to remind us with all the adjectives, long and short, big, dry, tall, funny, interesting. Nearly all types of the adjective. We're only missing the adjective with ends with E. The short adjective ends with E. With big, because the consonant that have one short vowel before, we doubled, which is the biggest continent in the world. Doubled the G and we put the EST. What about dry? Which is the space desert in the world. I will cross the Y and I will add exactly the EST, the driest. What about tall? That's a normal one. So we will add perfect. Who is the space person you know? Funny. I will cross the Y and I will use I, the funniest. That's not a short adjective. That's longer words. So, what should we do? We will add the most interesting. What is the most interesting fact about deserts? Now we got refreshed. We got to know about the superlative form. Very interesting poem. And if you haven't been to the desert, I can say this poem takes you there. The poem is talking about this picture. I will explain or orientate you with the picture quickly before you hear the poem. This is a canyon. If you walk through the very high rocks on both sides, this is a canyon. Can you repeat the word? Canyon. Canyon. That's the lowland in between two much higher ones. Good. The wall is going straight. The other wall is going on a gradual angle. Have a closer look. This wall is going up straight. But the other wall of the canyon is going up gradually. I can describe this straight wall to say that it's steep. What is steep? Steep means it's going down with a very sharp angle. It's going down with a very sharp angle. The high edges of the canyon, these are cliffs. The high edges of the canyon, these are cliffs. So, we have the canyon, we have the cliffs of the canyon, we have the angle here, that's a steep.
Track 85.
Okay. Also, we have animals of the desert. Some animals can be eaten. Some animals can be eaten by other animals. This is why all the animals in the desert should walk in a very silent way. Why? If the animal can be eaten, the animal should be quiet, not to be noticed, not for any other animal to know about it and go and eat it. And the other animals that eat needs to be very quiet, then it can discover the eaten animals. Got it? This is why it's a very quiet place. It's a very quiet place. Now, let us go together to the desert.
Track 25. Desert. Steep canyon cliffs, spiny cactus, sand, an endless line of blue and desert. Steep canyon cliffs, spiny cactus, sand, an endless line of blue and tan. The desert is a place of silence. But listen. A scurry of feet, a lizard, a mouse, disappears in shadow or an underground house. The desert is a place of secrets. Watch out! A keen-nosed coyote trots from bush to bush. The sharp-eyed hawk dives from a cliff top. Swoosh! The desert is a place of danger. Look! Splashes of red, pink, and white after a brief spring shower. Amidst dry ground slides a surprise of flowers. The desert is a place of beauty.
That's the desert. That's the desert. Now, we will get down to the little notes about it. Just before we go down, we will know about it later. That will be the coyote. That's one of the most interesting desert animals. Let us get to the notes. Cactus, that's singular. Cacti or cactuses, this is plural. Grow, that's present. Grew, this is past. Grow, present. Grew, past. Thick, thin. Thick, thin. Adjectives, waxy, that's covered with wax. Sharp, antonym blunt. Sharp, it's easy to cut. Antonym blunt. Fall, past fell. Drink up, drink till it's finished. Drink up, drink till it's finished. Consume, I can say. Finish what's there to drink. Ahead, in the future, the coming days. The days ahead, in the future, the coming days. Keep from, that's to avoid, to keep away. Steer, going in a sharp angle, like this little cliff. Going down to the canyon in a very sharp angle. Cliff, that's the side of the canyon. Spiny, that's an adjective, has many spines. Scurry. Scurry, that's the way the animals can move. They move in a quick and quiet way with small, short steps. Move in a quick and quiet way with small, short steps. It can be scurry as a verb, and it can be the action itself, that's the verb, and it can be the name of this way of moving, which is a noun. Disappear, that's a verb, and to appear. Watch out, this is something we say, it means be careful of something. Keen-nosed, that's an adjective, means curious. Wants to know everything, even if he shouldn't know. He is a keen-nosed person. He's a curious person. He always wants to know everything. Trot. Trot is a way of jogging. Trot is a way of jogging. Bush. That's a short plant with many branches near the ground. We find this in nearly all the clubs. Whenever there is a path that you can walk through, then we find that there are bushes on the two sides of the path. Short plant with many branches near the ground. Sharp eye can see very well. Even the far little objects. Or can notice the small details. Dive, go down quickly. Does not need to be only in water, no. If the hawk is flying up high and the hawk saw a little mouse down, the hawk can fly very quickly down to catch the mouse. I will say the hawk can dive. Dive, but not in water, in air. That's possible. As long as you go down quickly. Danger, that's a noun, and the opposite is safety. Splash. Splash, this is the noun, bright and clear little parts of the color. Bright and clear little parts of a color. Sometimes you can be in the art session and you're drawing something and the teacher can come to you and say, add some splashes of whatever color is on this area to make it more beautiful. That means bright and clear but little parts of the color. Shower, that's what we call, this is the noun for the heavy rain, we call it a shower. Endest. Endest, that's a preposition, means in the middle of many things. Emidest, in the middle of many things. The middle of many things. That's emidest. We are done with our notes and we will just quickly talking about the long adjectives. Because I trust you will get it very, very easily. We have the two forms of comparative as we know. We have the comparative form when we're talking about one-to-one, and we have the superlative form when we're talking about one-to-many. Comparative form, we use this form when we compare one-to-one. Alright, I use more the adjective than, more the adjective than, more the adjective than. Her dress is more beautiful than your dress. Her dress and your dress is more beautiful than your dress. Which is more beautiful, Roma? Her dress or my dress? That's the way to use it in a sentence, and that's the way to ask about it too. What about the superlative form? I compare one to many. I will not put more than, I will put the most. We use this form when we compare one to more than one. The most comfortable, the most beautiful, the most expensive. Sentence, my bed is the most comfortable bed in the house. For sure, there are more than one bed. Question, which bed is the most comfortable bed in the house? That's how we do the comparative and the superlative form for the long adjectives. Now it's the practice time. We will start with the shoes. Space can grow in the dry deserts, flowers, cactus, rabbits. The space leaves of the cactus keep the water inside the plant, dry, waxy, wet. The flowers have thorns, whereas the cactus has Curious shown, I don't like my curious classmate. What if we replace curious with a synonym? I ate all the food because I was hungry. And we need to ask about this reason. Alright. Who can answer first? Tell me, what can you say? Cactus. Perfect. Next one. The leaves of the cactus is a dry, waxy, wet. It's waxy. The flowers has thorns. The thorn is the very, very little needle that you can find in some flowers. Whereas the cactus has spines. Good. I cannot say spine because there is no a here. We have, that's spin, this is a verb. I'm sorry, this is a spin, this is a verb. Do as shown. I don't like my curious classmate. Curious will be keen-nosed. Perfect. I ate all the food because, so the question will be, why did you eat all the food? Last thing, superlative form. You can find all the answers, all the questions, and you will get to the answers. What is the space fact about desert? Interesting. Is it long or short? Long. That's a comparative or a superlative question. I'm talking about fact and other facts. So that's superlative. Superlative, long adjective, most interesting. Mohamed Salah is the space football player. Famous. Long or short? Long. Comparative or superlative? I'm comparing Mohamed Salah to the rest of the football players. That's superlative. The most famous. John is the space one in the group. Comparative or superlative? John and the rest of the boys in the group. Tall. Long or short? Short. So, it will be the tallest. Which is the space desert in the world? Dry. Superlative or comparative? Desert. Then we compare it to the rest of the deserts in the world. So that's superlative. Dry is a short adjective, ends with a Y. So I will remove the Y. And I will put EST. Mr. John is the space person I know. I compare Mr. John to the rest of the people I know. So I use funny, then I will remove the Y. Mr. John is the funniest person I know. Where was the space time you have ever spent? Nice. I compared a nice time to the rest of the nice times I have ever had. So I will put ST only as this one ends with E. Where was the nicest time you have ever spent? That was all for today. Hope you enjoyed our lesson. Thank you all and see you next time. Bye bye.